Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We're going to get started in just a minute. I will just wait for everyone to trickle in. Just going to give it one more minute while we wait for everyone to arrive. Welcome, everyone. I'll get my PowerPoint up for us. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. Okay, I think that's everyone. So welcome to the Professional Coaching for Work and Life Certificate Program. This information session is for our summer 2023 cohort. I have the application deadline up there on the screen of June 23rd, but today we want to just introduce ourselves to you. We're going to start there by letting you know who we are. I am Katie. I am your enrollment coach. So I'm really here for any questions that you guys have about the program, about the application, how this fits into your career goals. And then I will let Lupe, our program manager, introduce herself. She's on the line today as well.
Katie, really quick before we get started on this one, there's a black box over the bottom bar. I don't know if you can see that on your end.
Is that better?
Still, there we go. There we go. Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks for letting me know.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lupe Cox. I'm the program manager. So I would be your go-to person with, questions about classes and what you need to do and get started. It's great to have you all here, and I'm so excited and can't wait for you to join in the program and see what great things are going to come your way.
Awesome. Thanks, Lupe. Okay, so I'd also like you to get to know our program directors. They helped create the program and they also instruct in the program. So Carol Bennett, she is a professional level coach. She also is an executive coach and a consultant for Sutter Health University. And then Michelle Payne is actually a master level coach, and she coaches professionally with C strategies. So these will be your two instructors that we have. Both amazing resources, and they helped curate the program that's been in place for over a decade. Our agenda today. So we're going to go over kind of what is coaching, what it's not. We're going to go into the program details, the logistics, our philosophy. I also have a day-by-day schedule that we will review. And I also want to talk a little bit about the International Coaching Federation and how our program ties into the ICF, how what you'll learn in our class can help you pursue different credentials through the ICF. We'll also go over additional program benefits, and then we'll make some time at the Q&A or at the end for Q&A. I have Christy on the line, who's another enrollment coach for CPE. If you just put your questions in the Q&A, she will be happy to respond. And anything that we don't get to, we will go over at the end. So what is coaching and what
Katie,
is...
Sorry,
Yes.
we still have that black box across the top part of your PowerPoint now.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone.
Is it taking up a lot of the screen? I'm not able to see.
Yeah, you get to the top part of it. I know you covered the wording.
Katie, you just expanded to the middle. You may need to drag that to another screen. I believe it's your notes.
Yeah. No, it's just the little bar that says, just the bar, but there's not much I can do about it right at the moment because I only have one screen available. So let me just continue sharing and I'll try and make it as out of the way as possible.
Top of the screen is probably best. There you go.
Perfect. Okay, so what is coaching and what it's not? There is sometimes a lot of confusion on coaching because there are a lot of careers that help people one-on-one. Coaching is going to be you partnering with a client and helping them self-identify what their goals are and what their actionable items can be. And it's going to be future focused. So you want to be in a position where you're not really giving anyone advice. That's kind of where a therapist would come in, or maybe a mentor would come in, a mentor who can be like a subject matter expert and give really specific training and counseling. And a therapist is maybe going to focus on healing and what's in the past. Whereas a coach is going to be there, somebody who can sit in front of their client, listen to them, hear what they're saying, and help them figure out what they need to do and where they need to go and how to get there and achieve a specific life goals in their personal and in their professional life. And I actually have a video from Heather Ogle, who is a graduate of the program and also used to be our program manager. And she does such a great job at sort of breaking down the nuances of coaching. So I want to play that video for us next.
So what do I mean when I say coaching? And when we say coaching here at UC Davis, we use the ICF definition, and that is a standard that's been set for over a decade, and it's really about being a partner. You're asking creative, thought-provoking questions to really draw out answers from the client rather than give the answers to the client. And sometimes it's easier to explain what something is by saying what it's not, right? So coaching is not mentoring. A mentor has been there, done that, gone through the process, and they'll say, this is what works. You should X, Y, Z. That can be great in the right situation. That is not coaching. Coaching helps the person find their own solutions, because whether we're 3 years old or 33 years old or 65 years old, you're always more likely to follow through if it was your idea. If you've decided to do something rather than somebody says, you know what you should do. So that's the idea behind that coaching philosophy. Consultants, counselors, therapists, these are other things that can be confused with coaching, especially counselors and therapists. And to differentiate that in the simplest terms, we say those professionals look at your past. They say, what in your past is keeping you from moving forward today? Whereas a coach, when their client sits down in front of them, you see them as a full, capable person in front of you and say, what are the barriers in front of you keeping you from doing what you want to do? So it's forward and future focused. Do you encounter things in people's past that are keeping them from moving forward? Absolutely. So we go into when it's appropriate to refer. It's very important to recognize these things. And if mental health is involved, it can happen. And so your very first course in this program is coaching ethics. And there's lots of time spent on knowing when you and who to refer your clients to. A lot of people end up in both therapy and coaching to cover past and future. So that's our philosophy. What makes this program different from other programs that you might be looking at? I'm all about right program for the right person, so do your research. This program is awesome because we coach the fundamentals, the core competencies as defined by the ICF. There are 8 of them now, so as you go through the program, you're going to learn these core skills. It's like if you're going to play basketball, you've got to have good footwork, you've got to have good handwork, you've got to be able to dribble, regardless of what position you might end up playing. And the same goes for a coach. Whether you're going to be a life coach, an executive coach, work with adults or children, the core skills to a really good coach are going to be the same. And then, of course, then you specialize. So what happens is, because we're focused on these core skills, we have people from all different walks of life come together in this program. People who are interested in all of these different kinds of coaching, and they have these ideas about what they're going to do with their coaching. They come together and you get this amazing mix of people that you learn so much from. As much as you do in class, you're learning from your cohort mates. And as you're spending a lot of time, hours and hours with these people. And that's part of the program that we build on purpose. That's why we have an application. We're really just looking for people who are going to contribute to this true melting pot of a cohort. So that's how we're different than some of the other programs out there that really specialize first. Like if you know, hands down, I want to do health coaching, there's a program by the Mayo Clinic. It's great. Look it up. If we've had people take our program first to get the base skills and then go to the Mayo Clinic to specialize, works really well. So yes, do all your research. Let us know if you have extra questions, but that's really one of the differentiators sort of as far as style goes for the program.
Nice. So that was Heather. I think she does a great job explaining kind of what the different areas of coaching are and kind of what it means to be a coach and how it's different from other ways that you can help people. Let's talk a little bit about program structure. So this cohort or this program is offered in both winter and summer cohorts. And our courses are synchronous and they are over Zoom. So it's live remote instruction. And we meet on alternating Fridays and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And these alternating Fridays and Saturdays, it can fluctuate just depending on what's happening on the calendar. Sometimes these Fridays and Saturdays are every other Friday and Saturday, and sometimes they'll be back-to-back Fridays and Saturdays just to accommodate a holiday or so maybe something that's going on that we need to be considerate of. So we will show a schedule on the next slide where you can really see what the dates that you're committing to are. These classes, again, are from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., take place on Fridays and Saturdays. Overall, it's going to be 9 Fridays and 11 Saturdays that you will participate in. And even though it is remote instruction, you will be on camera, you should still expect it to have the same standards of participation as an in-person classroom. You are going to be coaching from day one on this class, whether it's one-on-one or whether it's in breakout rooms. It's really a very interactive, hands-on program. You're going to want to make sure that you are available, not just on the scheduled meeting days, but also that you have the physical time and space to participate and be present in the program so you can really get the most out of our curriculum. Additionally, these classes are not recorded. So if you, just because it's the nature of coaching, right? We want to have everyone be vulnerable and practice and have room to make mistakes and be safe. So it's not recorded, just to the nature of coaching. So if you know that you're not going to be able to make a course, you're going to want to get with one of your course mates or your instructors and initiate the process of figuring out how you can catch up and what materials were covered that day. And because we are partnered with ICF to offer these courses, there is an hour count that we are held to that everyone needs to complete in order to get their certificate. So you are only able to miss 2 sessions, which is about actually 10% of the curriculum. So you definitely probably don't even really want to miss 2, but I know things come up in life. So if you do need to miss 2 classes, you're going to want to make sure that they are not on our demonstration days. So that is days that we do mandatory testing with the ICF, and you are not able to miss those days. So I'll show you on the next slide our schedule, and you can get an idea if it's something that you can commit to. And to just keep in mind, if this summer cohort doesn't work for you and you have an approved application on file, you can absolutely defer to the winter cohort. And that usually runs January to June. So maybe that's a better time for you where you can get the most out of the class. But summer cohort, let me just share my screen. We'll go over, you can see on the left-hand side, these are our coaching modules that we'll cover, as well as some specifics on the course description, and then the dates and the times. So you can see in terms of modules, we're going to first cover coaching essentials. We're going to go over the core competencies. We'll have a demo day built in where you can demonstrate these competencies, both like written and orally, and will be assessed by faculty and observed by your coach. Then we are going to move on to coaching mindset, coaching conversation. We'll have another demo day, and we'll finish out the whole program with coaching mastery. So you can see that the demo days are September 23rd and Saturday, November 4th. And again, this is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that is Pacific Standard Time. I just want to show this slide as well, just so you can see what exactly we can expect from our class. Again, it's essentials, competency, mindset, conversation, and mastery. I will make sure that I get this slide out or this schedule out to you so that you can review it further and then complete your application. So let's kind of get into some of the basics here. The tuition for this program is $9,500. This is going to include your tuition. It's going to include the course materials, the textbooks are included. We also pair you with a mentor so that you can complete your mandatory 10 hours of mentoring. We also pair you with your first client, and that gets you about 6 hours of client interaction. And you will also be provided with a Zoom Pro license while you're in the program, and it also covers your certificate fee, which is a fee that people pay to get their certificate processed. That will not be something you have to pay for. In addition to this program, your tuition covers all of that. The final deadline to apply is June 23rd, although I will say we do kind of historically, by June 23rd, we really only have a few seats left in the program. I'll go over next how you can apply and what that looks like, but I would definitely encourage you to complete your application as soon as you're able. June 23rd is the deadline. So one thing that we'll go over is payment plans, right? So we do have one option for a split payment. So you can apply by June 23rd. And if you've applied before that and you have an approved application, you can pay about 50% of the tuition or $5,000. You pay that by June 23rd. And then all the full payment, whether you've already did like a split payment or you want to just pay 100%, the total balance is due by July 14th, which is about 3 weeks before the program begins. That's just going to give us enough time to make sure all the materials are ordered and sent out to everyone and everyone's good to go. We're ready to run our program and get the cohort started. So final day to apply, June 23rd. Final day for payment is July 14th. So the application. It's free to complete online. And the first thing that you're going to do is just create a profile, tell us a little bit about yourself, and you'll fill in your work history. Part of the prerequisite is that you have 5 years of work experience behind you, but you don't need to have any previous coaching experience to apply. And then you will have 4 questions that you can answer with us. And I'll go over those questions next, just so you can get an idea of what you're in for. The short answer questions are about minimum 300 words, maximum 500 words. It's not something that needs to be completed all at once. You can copy, you can paste, you can save. We really want you to be thoughtful with your answers because there's no interview process with this program. So these questions that I have on the screen are really going to be how we get to know you. If you're a good fit for the program, if you're a good fit for the cohort, this is your chance to tell us about you and your dreams and how coaching fits into that. So questions are, what are your long-term, what are your short and long-term? I'm sure the little black bar is blocking that out, but what are your short and long-term professional objectives? How have your past experiences contributed to the definition of those objectives? Why do you want to pursue a certificate in professional coaching? And lastly, please tell us about a time when you received feedback and how that impacted your thinking. What was the feedback? What impact did it have on you? So that's something that you could either write in a Word document and then copy and paste in there, or you can write directly in the application and you can save it and come back to it. Again, encourage you to complete your application either today or this weekend. I typically review applications. I pull them on Monday and then submit them off to our team for review and then get a decision back to everyone by the end of the week if everything goes well. So let me just go on to the next slide where we'll talk a little bit about the ICF and how our program fits into the way that you can pursue credentialing through the ICF. I have this slide up, but I also have a clip from Heather, who I think does a great job at identifying where our program fits into your later ambitions to get credentialed through the ICF. So let me share that video with you just because I think she does such a great job.
The ICF stands for the International Coach Federation. I highly recommend Googling that and taking a look on their website. If you're interested in coaching, you're probably interested in the ICF. They are the number one, or if not the number one, then 1 and 2, just to leave open for possibilities, professional association for coaching and in the world, because it is an international federation. In this federation, we follow their competencies, as I spoke, and we're an approved provider. So you'll see here, accredited coach training program. You may see the acronym ACTP, or they're moving to a new lingo. So we'd be a level 2 is another term that you might see out there. And so here's what you're going to get out of that: 150 hours of class, of training hours. And there are 3 different kinds of hours that you need to get in order to get your certification. So that's your training hours. You'll have plenty. And then you can see there are the 3 different levels: associate certified, professional certified, and master certified. And the difference between those levels are how much education you've had and how much practice you've had. Here is a table with a lot of words on it. But basically what I want to point out is this blue column. And you'll see at the top ACC. So this is that first level in the ICF. And you'll have a bunch of items that are needed to sit. Ultimately, at the very bottom, you'll see to sit for that exam, which is $100 if you're already a member of the ICF, or if you haven't joined the ICF as a member, it's $200. I think they may have upped the prices since this graph came out. So we now may be looking at $200 and $300. But just know there's a price to take the exam, and to get there, you have to do all of these things. Green check marks. No, go back. Green check marks mean the program takes care of that for you. Means basically, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We have that for you. So what's left that you need to do? Blue circle. That's called coaching experience, or often you'll just hear coaching hours, practice hours. So that's the second kind of hour. I mentioned earlier there are 3. So there's the training, which is what you're going to do in class, your homework. That's all us, training hours. Then there's your practice hours. That is outside of class, where you're coaching friends, family, strangers, whoever you can get your hands on to practice. The client that we give you, that's practice hours. So you can rack up some practice hours that way. And then the final kind of hour are mentor hours. And if you remember, I mentioned we provide mentors for you. So those hours we also take care of. So the one thing that you need to worry about are your practice hours. Everything else, you just give ICF your UC Davis certificate, and they say, oh, UC Davis, perfect, check, 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 check. Did you do your 100 hours? You'll see in that circle. You say, I sure did. And they say, okay, take the exam. which you will pass because we've never had anybody fail that exam. And you will have that first level. The really cool thing about UC Davis is that if you look at the yellow column, that next level PCC, professional, we do all of that too. So you finish this program, you can go ahead and get that first level ACC as soon as you have 100 practice hours. You say, awesome, great. I've been doing a ton of coaching, Heather. Now I have 500. So I got 400 more. I have 500 hours. I say, super awesome, congrats. Give them your UC Davis certificate again. And they'll say, do you have 500 practice hours? You say, yes, I do. And they say, here's your PCC. Put it up on your website, put it up on LinkedIn, and go out and be an awesome coach. So you don't even have to take another exam at that point. So the gist of all of that is that this program gets you both levels. It's the only things that are left for you to work on are your practice.
Nice. Yeah, I love Heather's explanation, and it really just shows you, I'll move this thing down. It really just shows you where our program is able to take you, which is all the way to the PCC level. We are able to get you the coach specific training. There's 150 hours of coach specific training that's available through this program. We give you the 10 hours of mentor coaching. We partner you with a mentor. The coaching experience, you'll be having a client that you're paired with. That's a minimum of 6 hours that you'll get as part of the UC Davis coaching certificate. And then you'll just need to go on and get your either 100 hours or 500 hours. But more than that, you'll also get your 2 letters of reference from the coaches. And then we have never had anyone fail our ICF exams. So that's always amazing. You can tell that the curriculum's really well built and really aligns with their competencies. So like Heather said, it's really just the coaching hours that you'll go and get outside of class through friends, through family. Maybe you're already doing it in your position for work, but it sets you up really nicely to be at the professional coaching level with the ICF. So another great benefit is our alumni community. These courses, even though they're online, you're really in the thick of it with each other. It's very hands-on, it's very tight-knit. You get to know each other. And we have an amazing Facebook group for all of our UC Davis alumni to join. So it's not just your members that you get to network with, but also this program's been going on for a decade. So there's a lot of different coaches over a lot of different years in there. Everyone's got great experience. It's a great place to join and to network. And just know that there are a lot of resources for you when you're joining the UC Davis alumni coaching community. So another thing that I really like about our coaching program is that it's actually accredited units. So you'll get 15 units as part of this program, and those are transferable to a graduate degree because we're an accredited university. They're accredited units. And as long as the program you're transferring them to accepts them and accepts them as part of the graduate program you're interested in, you're able to transfer them. And we actually have a partnership with University of the Pacific here in Sacramento. And once your certificate is either complete or almost complete, you're going to turn in your transcript to them and apply for their master's degree in organizational learning and effectiveness. All of your units will transfer over, and then you'll just complete 7 classes and a capstone with University of the Pacific. And then you'll actually have a master's degree in organizational learning and effectiveness from Pacific, which is a really awesome way to just guarantee that all of your units will transfer to a graduate degree, which I like a lot. So let's talk about big question, how to finance your education. So Suzette Odom, I've got her contact information on the screen. She is our amazing, fantastic resource. If you have any questions about how to finance, she's our student finance advisor. Please feel free to shoot her an email with any questions that you have related to a couple of the different options we have available to you. Everyone will get a $100 discount just for attending today's information session, just as a thank you. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate your time. So An email will get sent out not only with a link to this recording, but also an information session discount that you can apply towards your tuition. And because this course is accredited, you also qualify for student loans, which is amazing. So you're able to take out either Sallie Mae or College Avenue loans in order to pay for your tuition. And additionally, we also qualify for veterans benefits. So if you have an outstanding GI Bill that you want to use, I can send over, or Suzette can send over a VA packet, and we can go ahead and get your certificate of eligibility on file and get you enrolled in the course. Additionally, we also have some state funds that we're eligible for. So either WIA or SETA, if that's something that you qualify for, can work with Suzette to get that on file and get it funded through some of the state grants. And additionally, it's on the slide, but a lot of employers also have tuition reimbursement. So you might want to check in with your HR department or your manager and see if that's something that your company offers. As part of this program, you will get a transcript, you'll get a GPA, you'll get a letter grade, which is usually the requirement for getting tuition reimbursement. Just know if you need any resources, we have a fact sheet that I can send over. We also have like a letter of request that I can send to you, and you would just fill in like the coaching information on there and you could submit it. It's already written out for you to your employer. And it does tend to meet the qualifications for the tuition reimbursement. And
Katie, can you pull the black bar up so they can get a look at the bottom slide, please?
we also have our payment plan, which I talked a little bit about earlier, which is where the tuition is due in full before the program begins, but you do have the opportunity to split up that payment. So the first half, 50% or $5,000 would be due June 23rd. And then about 3 weeks before the program begins, you would pay the remaining $4,500 on July 14th. You'd be all settled in and ready to go for the program. So those are a couple of different payment options that are available. And again, if you have any questions, I would reach out to Suzette. I'm also able to help if something comes up, and you can use my Calendly link. It's there on the slide, Calendly at KNOrton-CPE if you want to schedule an appointment with me. I believe the last thing we'll cover is just any questions. I am happy to answer anything if you want to put it in the Q&A or the chat. And if not, I can, if you're not able to think of it in this exact moment, you can always reach out to me over email as well. Let's see.
Couple questions.
Yeah, so do you have any metrics on how many of your graduates are successfully employed after this credential? And Laura also asked for the 100 to 500 hours of coaching experience. Does coaching prior to this program count? Christy, who's on the call, was our previous enrollment coach. She coached this program for several years. So I'd love your feedback on this, Christy, if you're able to share.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. Yes, to address the first question about the metrics on graduates successfully employed after the credentialing, we actually do not focus on tracking our graduates after, because this is an academically accredited program. So there is not job placement assistance. However, our alumni network definitely speaks to that. There are many that not only go under the umbrella of executive leadership to where they're able to focus on coaching under different areas of business, but also those that do start their own life coaching, different practices and things along that nature. So I would encourage you to search out LinkedIn, look to our alumni network, and be able to identify the success stories within our program. There are many, and definitely our alumni would be able to speak with you and work with you to identify any questions that you have, as well as Katie for future questions about our program. Also, as far as the next question, the 100 to 500 hours of coaching experience, does coaching prior to the program count? Unfortunately, it does not. So day one of the program, you are able to start accruing hours towards your credentialing, and you are able to do so through the log of the ICF that your instructors will outline for you and be able to help you identify either bartering or networking through your current organization, as well as your current employer, friends, family, all of those avenues to be able to accrue hours.
Nice. Thanks, Christy.
Of course.
So Lily asked, this is life and work coaching certificate. Is that different than life coaching? Great question. Life and work coaching for us means we're going to cover both life coaching as well as the competencies for executive and professional coaching. So it's not that it's life and work, it's that we're covering both life and work/executive coaching. So you'll get both of those instructions. And Nicholas asked, this falls under continuing and professional education, right? Great question. So we are the UC Davis Continuing and Professional Education Department, but we are offering this class for academic units and not CEUs. I'm not 100% sure if that was answered your question, but hopefully, yes, we are the continuing ed department, but these are academic credits. Can you please tell us more on the WIA and the SETA acronyms you mentioned? Yeah, actually, oh, Christy, will you help me with this one? I'm not as familiar since I'm relatively new to the program, but maybe you can answer more.
Yeah, so SETA as well as WIA are different areas of grants that are provided for those that are on workers' compensation, as well as those that are needing job placement assistance in different areas within the government agencies and receiving funding to where you're able to learn a skill to get back into the job market. So we can absolutely drop a link into the chat for all of those financial aid questions to be directed towards Suzette Odom, who would gladly be able to elaborate on the different agencies and how you may qualify.
Nice, thank you.
Mhm.
So Laura asked, are admissions first come, first serve? If not, what do you look for in a candidate? Yes, admissions are first come, first serve. We review the applications and then respond with a decision, and then you're given the opportunity to enroll in the class, whether that's through the split payment or whether you use a funding option or you're paying in full. Paying either the split or the full tuition is what reserves your seat. And really what we're looking for in a candidate is, of course, someone who has our 5 years of work history and just enthusiasm for coaching and wants to be here and wants to learn and wants to contribute to the cohort. That's really what we're looking for. So is the team coaching program housed in a different area? What are the differences? So team coaching is another branch of coaching. It's another subject. And in this program, we teach life and work executive coaching. Team coaching is something that is just a specialty that you would learn about how to coach teams specifically. Is there anything you want to add to that, Christy?
The teams coaching is really a different area where you're going to be focusing on coaching groups as opposed to individual. So when you are looking at the different aspects, our professional coaching for life and work with individuals is ICF accredited. You are able to get that entry point not only at the ACC but the PCC level. That is something that's going to be able to provide you that inlet. The team coaching right now is CEU approved, I believe. So that is something that you'll be able to expand upon your knowledge once you are already credentialed and ready to move forward, or you can start out with your team coaching and evolve the opposite direction. It really depends on which outlet you're looking to pursue as your career.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. And Christy, do you have any examples of organizations that our graduates or alumni have worked for? Or is that just something you could I could share afterwards with our success stories that we have on our website?
Yeah, I think our success stories would be a great avenue for that. Also, reaching out to current alum and things along those avenues would be great. Please do not underestimate the power of our LinkedIn Alumni Association. They are so willing to help and guide those that are looking to enter into this field. So that's definitely something where if you're looking for avenues into the industry and you're looking to identify the strengths of our program, they will definitely be able to answer questions for you.
Awesome, thank you. So one question about our schedule is, do we always have Friday, Saturday, or do the days vary each session? And do we ever do in-person versions of this program? As of right now, we are scheduling them on Fridays and Saturdays. It does not vary between cohorts, and we are not doing any in-person versions of the program, but certainly if that's something that you would prefer, I'm more than happy to give that feedback to our program team who helps design these programs, hopefully in line with what works best for students. So if that's some feedback that you would like to share, I'm more than happy to pass it along, and we can keep that in mind when we're designing future cohorts. How many participants do we accept? So the classes can hold up to 50 students. I would say, yeah, about 50. And because we're first come, first serve, I would definitely encourage you to complete your application as soon as you're able, and then we can get you a decision and help you secure your seat in the program. Awesome. Are there any other questions that we can answer? Okay, well, I will follow up with an email that has a link to this recording so you can review it. I will also send over the link to the application so that you can complete it online. I will also send you the link for the free information session discount and a list of materials that you guys will read as part of the curriculum. So if you think of anything else, I am more than happy to help. You're also welcome to make an appointment with me if any questions are outstanding. And thank you so much for attending. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm looking forward to receiving your application. Take care. Bye.